What is going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Living Freed channel. My name is Tyler Freed, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to escape the rat race with trucking. Why am I going to be making this video? Well, because on one of my last videos, I got another comment saying that you will never escape the rat race with trucking. You'll be a slave, you will have no life. You know, the typical negative comment that I usually get. I appreciate people that make those comments though, because I'm able to keep making content like this and, you know, work on changing the mindset of those that do want to be successful with trucking. That's the reason I make these videos, is because there is so many negative people. There's so many people in this business that are negative when it comes to this career. And that's who I'm trying to reach, is the people that are getting into this, that see this as a great opportunity. And they just need a little guidance. They need a little direction. That's who my videos are for. So if you're new, I appreciate you for being here, and stay tuned till the very end so you can hear the entire point I'm going to be making. If you're somebody that's not new and you are already a subscriber, I also appreciate you for being here. You should also stay tuned till the very end. But, you know, a lot of people, what you need to understand when you're getting into trucking, most people start out over the road. Most people do. You're going to come in, you're going to go, this is like 90% of the people that start. Now, some people go, you know, to a private school and they go directly into local or regional or a more specific type of job. But that's like 10% of drivers, right? 10% of new CDL holders. 90% of people that come in are going to start at a mega carrier, or just a carrier that has a school attached to the company. You're going to go through their school. You're going to drive with that company for a year. And once you get your year experience, you can move on and do other things. So let's say you're part of that 90%. I was part of that 90%. I started out with Millis Transfer. And I drove for them. Well, I drove for them for about 3.5 years. I didn't have to, but it was a good situation for 3.5 years. I started with them, went through their school, went through the training, and but I was forced to stay for a year and serve out my contract with them. And once I hit a year, I could have gone anywhere else. I didn't choose to do that, like I just said, but that is the process for most people. And what a lot of people fail to understand is, yeah, you may have to put a year into that, a year into over the road, but after that, you don't. And well, even with Millis, you could start out on the regional fleet. I mean, you didn't have to be out for weeks at a time. I mean, you could have done regional, right? Now, the pay differs, right? You're going to make more being over the road than you are being regional. Now, once you specialize, and once I get into the next, segment here, once you specialize or whatever, yeah, you could actually make just as much money being on a regional account or a dedicated account as a lot of OTR drivers. You could, but when you're first starting out, typically over the road's going to pay more. So, you know, but it just depends on your situation, right? You don't have to be over the road. The point I'm making is, yes, you may start out like that. You may start out with the first year you have to be over the road or regional, but once you get that year of experience with that starter company, you can move on. How many local jobs are there? There's tons of local jobs. There's tons of dedicated routes. There's tons of regional jobs. I mean, I would say there's way more regional jobs than over the road. I mean, over the road's the easiest one to get, I think, because that's the highest demand position. But I mean, there's a ton of regional jobs. I mean, I'm at Crete. Crete has how many different regional divisions? It's insane how many they have. You don't have to be over the road 3 weeks at a time. You don't have to do that. So that just to, you know, totally debunk this myth that, oh, you get into trucking and all you're going to do is just drive your life away. You won't have a normal life, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, over the road, that's a different lifestyle. But most of trucking, I would argue, is not over the road. Most of it. Most drivers will put in a year or two of over the road and then they'll go do something else. You do not have to be stuck just driving over the road, living on the road. You do not have to do that, right? I'm over the road with what I do technically, but I have a different position. I'm an owner operator, and it's the most profitable route for me, right? If I was not an owner operator right now, I more than likely would not be doing over the road anymore. I probably wouldn't. But right now, building what I'm trying to build, I am. But you got to decide that for yourself. But just know you're not forced to do anything in trucking. That is one of the biggest misperceptions in trucking. I think a lot of people that say that, oh, you're just going to be stuck over the road, they're not even in trucking. They don't even understand the business, really. They don't even understand all the different positions there are. So I just want to elaborate on that before I get into how to escape the rat race, because that is the title of the video. And that is what I told you I'd be talking about. But I do want to clarify that for so many of you new drivers, have a plan. If you want to do trucking and be home, just do your research. There's plenty of great jobs that get you home every weekend, or they get you home every night. There's plenty of jobs, and you can escape the rat race the same exact way I'm going to describe in this video. So that's first and foremost. So what do? You come into trucking. I just said, you come in with a plan. One, you come in, what do I want to do for the first 5 years? Do I want to be a dry van driver? Do I want to work reefer? Do I want to work flatbed? Do I want to get my endorsements? Do I want to run tanker? Do I want to run doubles, triples? What do I want to do, right? Do I want to be a car hauler? Do I want to be somebody that moves furniture? What do I want to do? That's the most important thing. So many people just get in and they're like, all right, well, I'm just going to start with any company. That's not a good idea. Start with the company that's going to get you to where you want to go. The best example I can give is, let's say you want to do oversized loads, right? You want to haul heavy haul or oversized loads. You start with a flatbed company. You don't go to Prime, who hauls reefer. I mean, they have a flatbed division too. So I guess technically you could start with them. But you go somewhere where you're going to learn the skills to set you up for whatever it is you're going to do. That's what you do. You start where you want to end up. That's number one. So you do that. Once you get into whatever it is you're going to be doing for the long term, you work your way up. You work your way up to making the most money you can make. You learn how to manage your clock. You learn how to plan your trips. You learn how to get more efficient with securing your loads. You learn all the different lanes throughout the country. The better you get at trucking, the more experience you get, the more money you're going to make in trucking. So once you do that, okay, now it's time to decide, all right, well, I'm in this division I want to be in. Do I want to own a business? Do I want to buy a truck? Well, if you want to buy a truck, you have to have a plan for how you're going to save money to purchase that truck. You got to have a plan for how you're going to run your business once you purchase that truck. Do you want to get your own authority? Do you want to lease onto a company? What is it that you want to do? You see what I'm saying? You got to think through your career. And if you're not doing that, you're going to come in here and you're going to end up quitting within the first year you start, or the first couple years you start. Most new drivers, most new CDL holders quit before the first year is up. The turnover rate's really high because so many people get into trucking without that plan for what they're going to do with their career. So once you figure that out, let's just assume you've gotten in, you know what you want to do with it, and you've worked that plan. You've gotten into the division you want to start out in, and now you're making good money, right? You went through the training, you got your CDL, and you're ready to start making money. Okay, now you got to have a plan for your money. If you want to be that owner-operator, okay, you got to have money to be an owner-operator. You also have to have a good financial situation personally. And yes, I'm going to talk about the same stuff I always say in every video, but for those of you that get tired of hearing me say it, I don't really care, because number one, you have to understand on YouTube, I get new viewers all the time. So I do repeat this almost in every video because this is part of my message. My message is my goal is to show people how to get ahead with trucking, how to make it worth your while. So yes, I'm going to mention the financial stuff in almost every video because, again, if you're not new, you're used to hearing it. But if you're new, you've never heard it before. So once you get in, you have that plan, you're working your job, you're making decent money. Now you got to say, okay, how do I set myself up to start that business if that's what I want to do? Or maybe I don't want to start that business. Well, the first thing I always recommend is getting out of debt. Lowering your expenses by paying off all your debt is the first thing. I would not become an owner-operator at all if you have any personal debt. If you have personal debt, don't think about being an owner-operator. Pay off your debt first. Then once you pay off your debt, save up 6 months worth of living expenses in a savings account and don't touch it. Don't touch it unless you have unforeseen expenses that you didn't expect. The third thing, after you do that, now it's time to start saving towards that truck. If you want to buy a truck, get out of debt first, have an emergency fund, and then save to buy that truck and start that business. Let's say you don't want to do that. Let's say you don't want to buy a truck. You would rather invest in stocks or real estate. Okay, well, now that you're out of debt and you have an emergency fund, your expenses are low, you're making really good money at your trucking job. Now you have a lot of money every single paycheck to save towards investments. And that's where you want to learn about the stock market, learn about investing in real estate. If you want to buy a truck, learn about how to run a trucking business. What's your plan for that, right? So that's how you escape the rat race. You escape the rat race by investing in assets. It's very hard to invest in assets and actually make significant progress when you're not making a good income, when you're deeply in debt all the time, and you don't have enough income to funnel into buying assets. Look, one of the greatest lessons I ever learned was from the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And it's lesson number 1 actually in that book. And he said, the rich do not work hard for money. They have their money work hard for them. Now, that's not to say starting from nothing, you don't need to go get a job. You need to go get a job. If you're broke, you have no savings, no money, no skill set. Yes, you do need to invest in your skills to earn income. But once you're earning income and you're good at your field, then you can start thinking about earning passive income and capital gains income. That's where the freedom lies. It's when you buy assets where you can earn passive income and you can earn capital gains income. That's where the freedom is, because passive income and capital gains income, you don't really work for that. You're not trading your labor for money. You're trading your money for an asset that will pay you going forward into the future and go up in value over time. But it's very hard to do that when you don't have any money, right? When you don't have any skills, when you don't understand business, when you don't understand, how to make a lot of money at your career, it's very hard to have that skill set and that the right mindset to be successful as an investor. So look, but can you do that in trucking? Look, I've had another comment where somebody said that, this is one of the best jobs where you can make a lot of money and not have all the high expenses most people have, like rent and car payments. And he's right, because a lot of people, if you're single, you can come in to trucking, you can live in your truck, and you can save 80, 90% of your income. I've been saving 50% of my income since I started about 6 years ago, 5.5, 6 years ago. I mean, I could have saved a lot more. If I was living on the road, oh man, I could easily, because I'm out of debt, I don't have any debt, I could have easily saved 80% of my income, easily, and I still enjoy my life. I want to end with this. A lot of people think that, oh, well, if I'm saving and investing and doing those things, I can enjoy my life. I enjoy my life too. I go on vacations every single year. I go on a vacation. Now that I'm an owner-operator, I have a paid-off truck. I can work for 3 weeks out of the month, take an entire week off. Every single month I can do that and still reach my goals, right? But I had to work to get to that point. You can do that. You can do that, right? Now, I don't do it all the time because it does affect the goals I'm trying to achieve. I can still hit the goals by doing that. And I have. Once I bought a truck, I have a lot more freedom now. I do. I'm not preaching, hey, go buy a truck, because a lot of you will specialize. A lot of you will get your doubles, your triples, your hazmat, and you'll be able to get home every weekend and make a 6-figure income. There are jobs like that out there. You just got to do your research. The moral of the story is stop listening to, I'm going to end with this, stop listening to all the naysayers, all the negative people that you see on YouTube in the comment section that you see making videos, stop listening to them. Getting ahead in trucking is up to you. If you have a plan for your career, if you have a plan for your money, you can escape the rat race. I've been doing it. When I got into trucking, I had a plan for what I wanted to do in this business, in my career. I had a plan for my money. I knew that, hey, I'm going to get and stay out of debt. I'm going to have a savings, an emergency fund. And then what I've been doing is investing 50 to 60% of my income since I started into a low-cost index fund. I buy the Total World Stock Market Index, held at market cap weights, and I've been doing that consistently every single pay period for the last 5.5 years. I have. And it's resulted in me creating, that FU money, that financial independence. That's what it's done. It allowed me to start this business and buy a truck and pay for it in cash. Can y'all do the same thing, people watching this? Absolutely you can. Are 95% of you going to do it? No, you're going to quit. It's going to be hard. Look, I'm not saying it's easy. Trucking is hard. It's hard to be successful in trucking. It's hard to be successful at anything. But can you be successful in trucking? Yes, you can be extremely successful with this. You can set yourself up and your family up for generations. And I'm not even joking. You can build generational wealth by doing a simple job like driving a truck. You can. You just have to have a plan for your career and a plan for your money. That's my video for today. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for watching. If you stayed tuned till the end, I really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe, like the video. If you didn't like the video, dislike the video. Either way, whether you like it or dislike it, it helps grow the channel. So I appreciate you. And God bless. Thank you for watching. And make sure you stay tuned for more videos like this in the future. Peace out.